Hey everybody, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I am Bill, and it's another, thankfully, I am so grateful to be able to do these real-world flight debriefs, because that means that we did a flight in real life, which is super. Is the door? Yes, the door is latched. Despite my SIC's attempts, otherwise we do have a properly latched door. So Hannah and I did a great flight down to Gillespie. The winds were kind of weird, so we're going to request the runway that we got on Saturday, which was runway 17, and it's a very weird feeling approach and landing versus the what is it, 2.5s or whatever the normal parallel runways are at Gillespie. So it's some cool terrain. We're gonna hopefully get a Bravo clearance through San Diego, which is pretty typical in the real world. It's not really straightforward on PilotEdge because they don't really want to give away Bravo clearances like they do in the real world in San Diego, because there's no training purpose in that, even though it's what the real world, I don't want to say standard operating procedure, but really Bravo clearances in San Diego is a standard operating procedure. So we'll try to get that if we can, and if not, that's okay. We'll just check it out anyway. So we got the run-up complete, and we're ready to head out. And we'll get clearance on the left side.
Telebar Tower, Charlie Golf Juliet.
Simon,
Bravo,
welcome to the stream. Thank you for following.
Ready for departure.
Charlie Golf Zulu Juliet, correction. Charlie Golf Zulu correction.
It's you guys again.
Juliet Zulu Bravo, call my tower, runway 24, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 24. Charlie Golf Juliet, Zulu Bravo.
It's the fresh meat. Okay, all right, cool. Is he just doing whatever terminal, or is he en route too? He's doing well so far. Johnny Ground Cherokee 83364. Continue.
Number 83364, need 20 right at Kilo, taxi via Bravo Kilo.
Bravo Kilo 20 right, Cherokee 83364. All right, he's sounding good so far. Yeah, the poor Canadian, like, full call sign every time too. Ugh, what a disaster. Okay, good. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, less traffic. I mean, significantly less traffic, but it's also a dual Bravo. So the actual, like, San Diego Lindbergh Bravo that is being used is kind of not really
Juliet, Zulu, Bravo, contact departure.
Not really in play
departure,
for
Charlie
a
Golf,
lot of the transitions.
Juliet, Zulu,
The
Bravo.
Bravo is bigger than the actual airspace, because Miramar is a Bravo as well. For reasons apparently, but yeah, it's hilariously easy. Sometimes we'll like take bets in air, like before we take off, like where are we gonna get the Bravo clearance? Like how close to Dana Point do you get it? Johnny Tower, Cherokee 83364, holding short 20 right at Kilo. Request departure from 20 left.
Number 83364, Johnny Tower, cross runway 20 right at Kilo, runway 20 left to Kilo, clear for takeoff.
Crossing 20 right at Kilo, clear for takeoff 20 left at Kilo, Cherokee 83364. And Drew and Dave just cringed a little bit, but that's okay. I think traffic...
Approaching runway
This is like
right.
this is like variant John Wayne. This is a different timeline
remaining.
where no one wants to fly here.
Juliet Bravo, information, India, park at the FBO.
request taxi via far to the north.
Yeah. But this
Number
is,
215
again,
Juliet,
alternate
Bravo,
reality.
Approaching runway 20 left.
I know. Okay, lights, camera, action.
Cleared runway 20 left. 2,500 feet remaining.
November 215 Juliet, Bravo, runway 26,
Whoops.
taxi via Zulu, Alpha 2, Alpha 1, cross runway 8
Never
at
done
Zulu,
that, for real.
runway 17 at Alpha 2.
What's up, Jedi?
Alright, well, my runway 26 via Zulu, Alpha 2, Alpha 1, cross runway 8 on Zulu, cross 17 on Alpha 2, Scott 215 Juliet, Bravo.
There we go.
Lindbergh Tower, Walker 446, heavies on the localizer for 27.
Walker 446, heavy Lindbergh Tower,
Sweet.
runway 27, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 27, Walker 446.
November 364, contact departure, safe flight.
Departure Cherokee 83364. See ya. All right, the new guy. There you go. Fair marks. We didn't get radar identified, but that's okay too. SoCal approach. Good evening, Cherokee 83364. 1000 climbing restricted.
Ryzen 264, SoCal departure, zoom on navigation, cancel altitude restriction.
Oh, nav will go up to 3000, Cherokee 83364. Sweet. Nothing to it. This is, the Newport departure is my favorite. It's, of the 4 out of here, it's really pretty. I mean, the mesa is close, which is going out towards the pier, but but for some reason, like coming out over, you know, all of these gigantic houses here, and then just dropping down into Corona del Mar is really always feels super cool to me. I don't know why. I don't know why it feels any different than out over here. I think maybe because Huntington Beach is just kind of flat and boring. This is a little bit more, a little prettier. Why does John Wayne do the whole radar contact, say altitude on tower instead of letting departure do that? We are a limited radar control tower. We have an actual radar position in the tower. We just don't use it anymore because we don't have the staffing to do it. Santib, thank you for following. Welcome. I guess we radar contact you because we are a limited radar facility. We provide aircraft class Charlie services. We don't trust you in a plane. I'm not letting you in the tower. Oh my god, that's really funny. That is really funny.
Charlie Golf, Juliet Zulu Bravo information, kilos current, Nebraska, Vaznia Glow.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
And you can expect the VOR Alpha approach unless you have another request.
Golf Juliet, Zulu Bravo, still working on the weather, and I was planning on an RNAV runway 08 left, likely with circling, but I need to just finish getting the weather. Golf Juliet, Zulu Bravo.
Roger, just Vaznia Kilo.
Roger, Golf Juliet, Zulu Bravo.
Copy. What's up, Dilly? That is kind of a really ugly view. Like, no one wants to just see... I do actually like how it exposes differently depending on where you're looking, but that's not very pretty. We are absolutely fantastic. What is the H150 on your route? Where? Oh, this thing? This is probably from somewhere. No. Are you talking about something on the GPS? Because yeah, I don't have anything on there. My PE flight plan. Do I have a PE
Charlie
flight
Golf
plan?
Juliet Zulu Bravo now has information Kilo.
Where are you
I
pulling
am
that
looking
from?
for the RNAV runway 08 left, circling for 26 right.
Charlie Golf Zulu, correction Juliet Zulu Bravo, Roger. Cross Mission Bay 4000, cleared RNAV runway 8 left, approach circle 2, runway 26 right.
God, this is
Across Mission Bay.
This is a little bit higher
cleared
than
RNAV
usual
runway
coming over the
8
coast here,
left,
but
circling for
the
26 right. Charlie Golf
the
Juliet
views
Zulu Bravo.
over this stretch of beach is so cool. Oh, the PE map? Yeah, the heading is the Newport departure. Beautiful Newport departure. Oh Lord, yeah. We were, so I was not planning on flying at all this past weekend. It was I had the plane for Tuesday for my birthday. I had taken the day off. We were gonna go fly somewhere for lunch. Plane was down for maintenance. And then I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, I'm gonna wait until everything calms down. Both weather, we were supposed to have Santa Ana's like pretty bad throughout the weekend, and then the Super Bowl.
Contact SoCal approach 128.1.
The Super Bowl was
128.1 for
supposed to be a total nightmare, and when Hannah texted me and said, you want to fly tomorrow on Friday, I was like, yeah, let's look at it. And she wanted to go someplace north. Woke up on Saturday and the weather was like gusting. I think it was in like deep in the 20s, like 26, 27 knots or something at Camarillo, and just really windy and dumb everywhere. But south was actually pretty good. So she said, what if we go to Montgomery again, where we had just been? And I was like, well, have you been to Gillespie? And she hadn't been. So we decided to go to Gillespie, and I was still kind of like, let's just see how it looks. You know, how the weather was looking, and then two, just how crazy John Wayne was. And I get there, pull into the gate, and it's just dead. Like, there was like one plane taxiing. You know, it was like really, really, really quiet. It only goes to Ramona. So yeah, and I actually was like, well, if you've never been to Gillespie, like you take the leg down to Gillespie. And she like didn't want to. So we get there, and it was just like dead. I got the plane fueled up. I asked the line guy, like, hey, is it busy today? And he's like, no, it's super, super dead. And you know, just like shockingly quiet. So we ended up going, and the winds were pretty stiff at Gillespie, and we were still planning on going there, but either like doing a low approach, because it was, when the time we left, it was reporting like a 15 knot direct crosswind, or maybe no, it was actually more than that, because it ended up being a 12 knot crosswind.
Hey, bird, whoa, buddy.
Quasar, 42-month streak is absolutely insane, dude. Thank you so much, man. Quasar, cheers to that. All the way back to, God, I mean, how many years ago was that Flight Sim Expo? That's super awesome, dude. Thank you so much for the continual support. That's awesome, Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we were planning on, like, hey, if it's just too nasty going into Gillespie, we can, we'll try Montgomery. And the winds ended up calming down a lot. So it was a 12-knot quartering tailwind, which ended up being little, fought us a little bit, but not too bad. So it ended up being totally fine. But we definitely took off with the intent of, as long as we put rubber down at one of these airports, we'll be fine. Let's log the cross country. If we're skipping rocks or something, that's fine. But we will touch down someplace. We will touch down someplace. Yeah, but it ended up being not bad at all, and just in general, it was kind of quiet. On every frequency was just quiet. I think enough people were scared away from the threat of wind and the big old TFR and just the potential for it to be so busy that it was kind of quiet. I think there was like one other plane around Gillespie that was dead. There actually was on ADSB. There was a lot of traffic at Montgomery, so we were kind of eyeing that, thinking like, oh, I wonder if people are diverting to Montgomery from Gillespie, and didn't seem to be the case, at least, but it was very odd. I was fully intending to not fly as a result of all those factors, as apparently everybody else was, and I was very pleasantly surprised that we were unimpeded. We got our Bravo clearance from here, by the way, so that was nice. Was a big TFR. Oh, that was a big TFR. Yeah, but I actually did not look at the particulars of it, but I think it was just no loitering. So no pattern work, no circling. Like, you were totally fine to fly. I'm assuming there was some flight following requirement on there potentially, but I don't think it was as restrictive as it may have looked. Temporary flight restriction.
Approach 1100.6.
Was it actually you had to have a VFR flight plan? Was that for us? SoCal Cherokee 83364. Was that last frequency for us?
364 affirmative, SoCal approach 1100.6.
196 Cherokee 364. Like, I don't see anybody else around. You must be talking to me. Pretty sure that was in the text of the TFR. VFR traffic had to have a flight plan to cross the 30-mile ring. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even bother looking at it because I wasn't planning on trying, but yeah, that makes sense, I guess. SoCal approach, Cherokee 83364 3000.
Right, 264 SoCal approach, the San Diego altimeter 2999.
Alright, we a 2999 Cherokee 83364. I'd like to request, if we can, a Bravo transition direct to Gillespie from Oceanside, if that's possible.
364, clear dinner, Bravo airspace.
Alright, cleared through the San Diego Bravo Cherokee 83364. And you couldn't go into the 10-mile ring without TSA pre-clearance. Okay. So kind of similar to like a presidential TFR, it sounds like. What's up, Geo Chief? I was in a bar surrounded by people who weren't born when Eminem released the song he performed. That's fun. That is fun. Well, thank you everybody that's joining tonight. If you are new to the stream and you like airplanes, that would be very convenient. So awesome. If that does describe you in any way, give that link a shot. Even if Discord isn't your thing, it's a very easy app to download and use. A lot of fun, but it's a great community of aviation lovers, and yeah, would love to just keep seeing that community grow. And it's very, very easy to drop out if it's not for you, but I guarantee you will enjoy it. Guarantee it. Yeah. Yeah, SoCal doesn't even simulate the Disney TFR. Discord is better than Google, absolutely. Yeah, the atomic titties are not depicted in Microsoft Flight Sim. Really should be. That would be fantastic. That would be great. I got some great close-ups of that. Yeah, so there's a nuclear plant that is just two domes right next to one another, right off the 5, and it looks really funny. What's up, Eyes? What is up? Do I have those on Discord? I feel like I may have posted a picture. Let's see. Maybe not there. Somewhere? Oh, yeah, I did. I did post them. Okay, that's the wrong picture. I usually call this Dolly Parton, but here we go. There they are. That's really funny. Yep. I have my private check ride tomorrow, but I'm thinking of just doing the oral portion and postponing the flight because of strong gusts. Any advice? That's going to be up to you and the examiner. Usually, you need to go into the check ride with the intent to finish it. You can't go into it with the intent to cancel. So if you're going to cancel for weather, you really can't start the oral. If you are intending to do it, then you can start. So there's like some gray area there. Oh, look at the drive-in theater.
128.25 Charlie Golf Juliet Zulu Bravo.
But that's something that you either, well, one, have that conversation with your CFI. I am in no way qualified to give you advice on that, but I know that that's part of the rules for that. So stuff can happen where the weather doesn't cooperate. That happens quite a bit, but by intent, it's like by the letter of how not law obviously, but it's technically not supposed to start without the intention of it finishing. So I don't know if that helps or makes it more confusing. The DB hinted that it would be a good idea to reschedule after we did the oral part. All right. Well, if they're willing to do the oral separate from the practical, then don't say a word. Go, intend to fly, be prepared to fly, and if they're going to split it, then don't question that. Let it ride, man. Let it ride. 20.7 is our tower frequency, I believe, if memory serves.
Let it do what it do, baby. We up, baby. Best angle of climb.
Very, very much let it do what it do. Do not question that one. So this is, again, a pretty standard route into Gillespie, where we're cutting over at 3,000 feet, right over Palomar. We're going to be running into Miramar here pretty soon. So this is usually how you're going to go to Palomar or to Gillespie. I think the first time I went, we requested to stay along the coast just because it's a much prettier flight. But this is usually what you'll get. Just cleared and direct through right from Oceanside. So, which was, you know, like, Marshall, Hannah is like so conscientious. Obviously, you know, doesn't let up hardly at all in terms of like doing everything correctly. So when we were getting ready to leave, she was like, "Okay, so how are we getting there?" And I was like, "I have no idea. We'll find. I guess we'll see." And she was like, "What? What do you mean we'll see?" I was like, we will see. You know, like I don't. We could go any way they want us to go. And she's like, "What?" Like, hey, just let SoCal tell us. Like, how do you want us to go? Like, we're gonna, you know, keep in mind the I'm gonna say unintruded route, but like keep the going around the airspace route kind of in the top of your mind, but we're gonna get direct straight there. It's fine. It's totally fine. Marshall, you're gonna this even more so than the first flight she and I did. I think you'll like the video, like the full flight video of this one. It is pretty damn funny. Yeah. So anyway, let's back to debriefing. So the winds were
Destination ATIS is 12.
got it. We had a 12 knot quartering crosswind, and we can look at the 360 video of it. I came in very flat. Whenever I have a bad landing in this plane, it's usually because I come in too flat, and it just kind of does like a little bunny hop, you know, kind of 3-point it. So this one was very firm and three pointy, but was happy with my center line. That's kind of well modeled, actually. That's weird.
Clear to land 26 right, Charlie Golf, Juliet.
But it's such a cool terrain out here that you don't get to see usually. Well, like I said, you usually do get to see it because you're cleared straight through the the Bravo. But yeah, it's interesting terrain coming through here. Summer came too early this year. Man, last week was hot. A little bit better today. I think it was, like 70, mid 70s or something. But yeah, it was hot last week, and if you're not ready for that, it can be not very comfortable at all. Yeah, I'm sure, man. I'm sure you had the wellies rocking big time. Yeah. Well, it wasn't aircon hot quite yet, but it was getting kind of close. You know, we have a pretty high, or at least I have a pretty high tolerance for that usually, and we didn't quite get there. So there's Miramar out there, and I cannot believe how clear it was this weekend. Saturday and Sunday were, I mean, it's just, the visibility was unbelievable. It was so gorgeous. But yeah, Miramar, it's kind of like, kind of cool and then kind of let down. But at the same time, like, yeah, I don't know. It's cool to be by because Top Gun was filmed there, and it's got history, and it's cool. But at the same time, it's very flat, very quiet. I mean, it's just always dead. It's always dead. So you never get like, any F-18s or it's just quieter. F-35. There's some F-35s there as well. Lots of F-18s. So it's cool just because of what it is, but gotta go on weekdays. Yeah, that's probably why. I haven't seen or heard a single thing out of there at all. Alright, now let's see how realistic this feels coming in here. So I got the airport in sight from out here. SoCal approach, Cherokee 83364, information Zulu at Gillespie, and we do have the field in sight.
Ray 3364, right? Contact Gillespie Tower 120.7.
20.7, Cherokee 83364, thanks. Zero. Okay, fine, fair enough. All right, so we got the newbie. Let's see how this goes. Gillespie Tower, good evening, Cherokee 83364, just over the 15. Information Zulu, request landing, full stop, runway 17.
Ray 3364, Gillespie Tower, Roger, Henner. Right base, runway 17, clear two-way.
Right base, clear to land 17, Cherokee 83364. And like knowing where the terrain kind of sits, like where these airports sits, helps a lot. And you can definitely, when it's clear and you're just VFR putting around, you have this big little mountain hill complex right here, which sits directly in between Gillespie and Montgomery. Montgomery is right there, and then you got this little hill complex here, and then Gillespie sits between those hills and that little hill right there. So it's really in a bowl. It's a very dumb place to put an airport, honestly, but cool. Like it's kind of got a cool complex to get in, which is pretty fun. Coming in on the 27s is the normal day runways, and it's nowhere near like Flaybaugh, but you do have some hill and
SoCal
terrain
126 Bravo,
to work with,
confirming we're clear to the Bravo airspace,
particularly if you're
vehicle
landing on the
correct.
right side. But this is not really doing it a lot of justice here.
Negative, I didn't get their request until now. You contact approach 134.9.
Yeah, Montgomery
Actually,
Restaurant is the one that we've
just do it now.
probably
Approach
been
Bravo
to the
to the coast
most.
route.
It's
They do
so
VFR
easy.
6500, contact approach 134.9.
Okay, cleared to the Bravo.
But this airport, this
local
restaurant
route
is nice too.
6500 and 34.9 on the frequency.
Affirmative.
26 Bravo.
Little pre-landing cocktail sip.
SoCal 5126.
That's the old adage, Dilly, the $100 hamburger. They are no longer $100.
5126
They are like $300 hamburgers. It would be really fun, Marshall. I do want to get up there pretty badly. Obviously, my family is up there, and that would be pretty cool. Yeah, the Gillespie restaurant is great. I still think that Montgomery is probably slightly better. Only 5 hours in the Mooney. Rub it in, man. Rub it in. Well, now we have a connection with somebody in a Mooney that might be able to get up there in 4 hours. But that is a major goal of mine. That's a lot. I mean, yeah, his is really fast. So this is weird coming in from this angle here.
500.
So we're just gonna look. Conti, thank you so much for the raid. You guys came at a really cool time. So just look
Short
at this
final
approach
runway
here.
17.
We're gonna debrief this from the real flight. But thank you so much, Conti, for the raid. Welcome everybody. 17. Like it looks like you're not supposed to land past 27 right. Let's see. Which landing is going to be worse? The real landing or the sim landing? Ooh. The real landing is going to be worse. That's a first. So we were on the go out of here, but keep that approach in mind.
Buddy.
Oh, damn it. Readability, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Conti. That is super cool, man. Thank you for the support. Gillespie Tower, Cherokee 83364, cleared 17. We are parked straight ahead.
364, taxi straight ahead. Our maintenance frequency, have a good night, Bill.
Straight ahead, we'll stay with you, Cherokee 83364. Thanks for the help. See ya. Yep. That's awesome. Cool. Conti, welcome everybody. All right, so this is like one of my favorite things to do with this simulator. So we're debriefing this flight into Gillespie from John Wayne from Saturday. And now I'm going to exit out of this just to give my poor CPU a friggin' break. And now, having seen that approach in the simulator, we're going to look at it from the real world perspective. I think it's this one right here. Let's see if this works. But let's see. Amy, welcome. Thank you so much. Cole Nemo, hello. Geekle Twitch, what up? Yeah, thank you guys for joining today. And we're in social media mode. There we go. Look at that. I am going to back this up so we can kind of get more of the approach here. Pretty cool though, right? I mean, even just that. So the way that this camera works is it has, you know, an internal gyro, and sometimes it gets screwed up. So like it's supposed to work exactly like X-Plane or Microsoft camera does. But if it gets screwed up, it thinks it's sideways. So if I go up and down, it actually moves left and right. So it's a little bit clunky. We'll probably leave it pretty static as a result of that. So, and see, there we go. That's exactly what I didn't want to have happen. Ghost, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, see, it gets all like janked up, and then it's hard to manipulate on the fly. There we go, close enough, especially for us. And we'll spin it there. There we go. Close enough. Please don't screw up. All right. Let's hope. Let's hope. Hope. All right. So yeah, we were kind of planning on doing a low approach here because the winds were like in the 20s, like a cross section. Yeah, I know it's like backwards, and if you like move your mouse sideways, sometimes it's easier. But yeah, so we were kind of planning on doing just like a low approach. Like, hey, let's just go. Because when we left, the weather was reporting, like I said, crosswind like in the 20s. And it was like, that's a little bit much. This is not a typical runway to land on. There is an approach into this configuration. I don't remember which approach it is. I'm going to look at it really quick. Approach. Is it the RNAV? Okay, yeah. So the RNAV, there's a localizer going into the 2.7s, or like a circle approach. And then yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's the localizer. Delta is the circling approach that kind of lines up straight in for the 2.7s. And then the RNAV goes into 1.7. That's right. That's right. So it's not like I've never landed on this runway, but it's super cool airport and cool terrain and everything. But we were a little bit hesitant because of the winds, and ended up being not that windy, and it died down by the time we got there. And I think it was like 12 knots. I don't remember what it was a front quartering crosswind, and I'll pause it so you can see where the windsock was. So we went from like, all right, if we just put rubber down and we can bug back to John Wayne, and will count as a cross country basically. But it ended up being totally landable. You can see the wind deflection on that little lake. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there's like mechanical turbulence and stuff going around with the buildings and stuff when you get closer. This is IRL out on, yeah. So it's really weird coming in from this view. It's similar to John Wayne in that, you don't really get this configuration a whole lot. So you're just kind of used to the 2.7s being the runways. So seeing it from this angle is very, very strange. And then you have the actual displaced threshold here. And then there's another line for the for 2.7 right. And I think if I'm not mistaken that, oh yeah, both do cross. Yeah, both do cross, obviously, like almost directly in the middle, but there's no markings really that you can see for the little runway. It's just the big runway. So it's very deceiving when you're looking at it here, if you're aiming at the threshold, which you shouldn't be anyway, but it looks extra bizarre having those extra lines on there. Coming in low over the road, which isn't really any different than what we're used to. And then there you go. That's, you know, it's not too bad. Coil, TwitchBot, thank you for the bits. Probably an IFR runway thing for the big runway. Yeah, some different markings. Yeah, I think you're right. It's probably also a lighting thing. I would imagine that the left side is not lit, similar to Montgomery Field. That would be my guess too, is that it has something to do with either the lighting or, like you said, IFR stuff. Which could definitely be both. What's up, Cole? And Ghost Rider, thank you for the bits as well. So that's a pretty stiff little crosswind. Now let's watch me plop it in here. It was very ploppy. Blink. Just kind of. It always feels worse than it looks. I feel like, particularly in this plane. Like this plane feels much more ploppy than the 172 does, where
very like affirmative.
Well, I mean, it's not quite as ploppy as like what you'd feel in the Mooney with the little hockey pucks. But so here's the
If you don't
cockpit.
climb out of that, then you're gonna be in the
Situation
Oh my
right
God, what a weird like runway. If you don't climb out of that, then you're gonna be in that building right there. What a weird airport. Why'd they build this here?
Yeah, I know.
Why'd they build an airport here? Oh my God.
I feel like I don't
see
want to
what-
land on that parallel runway. Like it seems like that's gonna be not good somehow.
That's a nice little left cross when you got
Yeah.
there, Bill.
It wasn't super gusty, which was really nice, but yeah, it definitely was a.
Yikes.
Yeah, boss. Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, that's a Piper landing.
Yeah, that was a good landing.
Thank you, Hannah. And then
good.
we're ripping out of there. Wait, go back where you can see her water bottle.
Yeah,
Good landing. That's a nice.
I feel like I don't
see
want to.
what-
Where's her water bottle? Did she pull it up on short final? I don't see it. Did I miss it? Oh. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. If we really want to break down, it down, let's do it. I love doing this with landings sometimes. Like I'm like, okay, what do we do? What do we do here? So Pipers, like if anyone has time in both 172s and PA-28s, they are trainers, and if you've flown one, you can fly the other, no problem. But there are some subtleties in how they land. No, Marshall, they land beautifully. Okay, I love it. Simich, Hannah is a friend. Actually, Fox Die 262's lovely girlfriend. But the way that, like, I don't know if I have my little model, but maybe this selfie stick is a good representation here. So, so it's like when you're coming in, like when you're at this like we're at right now, like we're nose up a little bit, and obviously you need to have the power out to land these things because they just want to fly. The elevator in the Piper, so we'll call this the tail, where the wing is at, and when you're at a little bit of that nose up angle, you have the flaps and the wing shadow the stabilator in the back. So it does give you a little bit more it's a little different feel, I guess. I mean, not really, but it's a little bit different feel from the elevator versus the stabilator, but doesn't really make much difference. But you have this like shadow effect on the elevator, so you lose the elevator authority a little bit. So you can correct that by like giving it a little bit of a blip. Yeah, there's more ground effect, but not the ground effect doesn't like. There is technically more ground effect, but a 172 will float more than a PA28. It has less ground effect, but it actually in practice floats more, just because of the way that the wing is. So when you have that like slow full flaps, slightly nose up attitude in a PA28, you can give it a little blip of throttle and it'll get some more airflow going over the top of the wing, which will actually help with the elevator authority. Like on short final, like as you're kind of rounding it out, I've pretty much eliminated the need for that by just coming in at like 400 feet at 2,000 feet and just like going straight down. So I've eliminated the need to do that. But if you're like coming in kind of shallow or, just like slower, that loss of elevator authority is very different than a 172. Because a 172, when you have the high wing, you're like, hey Julia, can you bring me the little 172 toy? I think it's in my bedroom. Our bedroom. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you. The little plastic 172. Yeah. Is that in the living room or the bedroom? Wherever it is. Toy? You mean educational instrument? Yeah. Thank you. Sorry. Love you. Shit. Thanks, Bal. Yeah, here we go. Look at the educational tools. Yay! This is so nerdy. So, look at this. All right, this is great. So yeah, so when you're full flaps and you've got that slight nose up angle of attack, like the airflow that's being shadowed from the wing and flaps is over the elevator. So you actually have like nice airflow over the tail. So you can be like full elevator authority all the way down to the ground, which is why it's so easy to balloon and plop down a 172, because it gives you full elevator authority, like all the way down. That's like really overexposed. So in a Piper, you don't really get that same like plop, like it's never going to go full nose up like that and then just go, because again, the shadow effect takes away that elevator authority. So you can pull, keep pulling back, and that nose is not going to come up, and it will just go. So the 172, it has the wing, just like it's got more wing than a Piper, so it's generating more lift and has more elevator authority. So it's going to float and be a lot more controllable, lower and slower than a Piper will be. So that is like the biggest adjustment when you're going between one or the other. I personally prefer how the Piper lands, just because it's a little less sensitive than a 172 is as a result of that. So that is that. CFD simulation would be really cool. No, hell no. But all right, so we're gonna look at this very, very carefully here. Yeah, oh my god, I would be the worst CFI. I think one of the reasons sims fall short IRL is that things like this affect the feel of the aircraft in significant ways. Probably wouldn't be able to simulate that kind of thing. I mean, you can simulate it, but it's just going to be like numbers. You know, like it's not dynamic in actual airflow, really. I mean, like X-Plane, I guess, kind of has that built in, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could tweak it, but it's never gonna be perfect. There's too many data points to try to simulate. So I'm like fighting this crosswind, and it's still nose up. Like it's still, you know, slight nose up attitude on there. Yeah, well, I mean, Humble, the difference there is that you've got a lot more airflow and you're going a lot faster. So it's, I mean, God, Bonanzas and these things are on a different plane of existence, essentially. That is pretty freaking 3-point, like absolutely compensate for the shadowing of it. It like you either come in a little bit steeper and pull more than you're kind of used to in a 172 if you're going back and forth, or that little trick of just give it a little squirt, little throttle squirt, and then it, you know, you can get that airflow like over the wing. So that's where, like, when you're idle, you don't have that propeller airflow going over the elevator or stabulator or whatever. So you have, not only are you shadowing it from the, you know, the actual airflow going over the wing, but you don't have the thrust from the propeller helping as well. Like a 172 does that also, because that's like right in line, right? Like you have the propeller thrust going right over the elevator, but try to blip the throttle in a 172 on short final. And I mean, you're basically going to go around at that point, because you're just adding like unnecessary airflow. I mean, the wing can, you know, stall out obviously, but I wish so badly that I was a bird. Yeah, it's like you give a 172 any throttle on short final, it's like you're going flying again. So yeah, that was a little clunker. But here's the example of the alternative. This is kind of what I've done to combat that, I guess. Not really combating it, but yeah, no, center line. I definitely take pride in that. The smoothness of the landing doesn't really bother me too much, honestly, usually, but it's like the center line is, I try really hard to do that. And that was with a crosswind. So thank you for acknowledging that, Marshall. My center line with a crosswind. Hex yeah. So this was a weird, this was weird. We got denied the overhead brake. I was excited to show Hannah, and it didn't work out. So we had this really dumb, long offset final. So just not great. But this is where, I mean, for one, like being back at your home airport, it's much easier to gauge everything. You know, it's just like all second nature, basically. But I am probably at 400 feet right here, and you can see, like, it's not really as dramatic with the wide angle, but I am in just I have the right rudder pegged right here. So 400 feet, about 2,000 feet from the runway. I just love the thought of an Archer ripping in an overhead brake. Dude, it's freaking so fun. It is so fun. And then just bomb it in, just full slip. It's, again, you can't tell at all that this is a slip, honestly, except if you just look at the nose wheel pointed in the other direction. And then right at the end, there's it straightened out. And then there you go. So just like there's an example of, just having a little bit more airflow and not worrying about crosswind and whatever, but still able to make that first taxiway. Just helps so much knowing, you know, having those visual cues to know where you need to be at when, and you know, when you can whatever push it. But yeah, you can even see though, there's not, like, it's not that same wheelie that you can do in a 172. Like even if you're right down on the mains and, you know, you kind of wheelie it all the way down, you know, it's still 6 to 8 inches off the deck. Like it's not, it's not, it doesn't have that same like ability to keep, or at least as much, like at least to the same degree as I feel like you can do in a 172. Let's see if that looks any different from inside.
080. I did, yeah. I just confirmed.
Okay, perfect. What is the last speed?
Let's see, where? One of these is the landing. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. You might not be able to tell really how big the slip is. Let's see.
Bravo Mike. Mike, meet for separation, caution wake turbulence.
Caution wake to the Bravo Mike.
SNA Mike Echo traffic 5 mile final for the parallel room is a Boeing 737 reported inside.
That's pretty good. You can kind of tell.
Looking for the traffic.
My head. You can kind of see the angle there. Look at.
Having sight. 3 Hotel Alpha.
3 Hotel Alpha, meet for separation, caution wake turbulence.
Caution wake 3 Hotel Alpha.
That was the rudder correction. Whoa.
You are determined to make Juliet. Wow.
Hey, Mike Echo, I have that traffic in sight. We have that traffic following. I kind of wanted to get off.
Cherokee 364, no delay at Juliet, cross runway 20 right, and contact.
Sweet. Okay. Real world stuff. I love it. It's so much fun to do that. Do the flight in the sim, and then like look at it in the real world. It makes me appreciate the simulator even more, which I really like.